Hello, world, and welcome back to my Knoxville International Airport, fictional model airport here. And truly, hello, world, because the last airport update really blew up unexpectedly. So, thank you all for that so much. That was a real great surprise to see. So, yeah, thank you all for all the support in the last one. I don't know if it's because I had A380 in the thumbnail and the title. It just caught the algorithm, but yeah, I truly appreciate it. It was great to see my second highest viewed airport update after my long hiatus. So yeah, I appreciate you all for that. We're back here for another airport update. The time frame for this one is 4:40 p.m. local time. So let's not waste any further time. We'll get started over here with the blue terminal. I don't believe we've started with the blue terminal before, so we'll start with this United Express E145 operated by Commute Air. This aircraft arrived in from Jackson, Mississippi. We'll be heading out to Columbia, South Carolina. Next up here, we have this United Express CRJ 550. This aircraft is operated by GoJet and is in from Memphis. We'll be heading out to Little Rock. Behind it, we have a Republic-operated United Express E175, the first of two E175s in a row. This one arrived in from Pensacola, and we'll be heading out to Portland, Maine. And behind it, we have the Mesa E175, and this aircraft arrived in from Columbus, Ohio, and it'll now be making the service up to Montreal. Next up here, we have this United 737-800. This aircraft is in from Bozeman, Montana, and will now be heading out to, not Kansas City, that'll be the next aircraft. This will head out to Dallas-Fort Worth. Oops, sorry, you're zoomed in. Our next aircraft here is this United A320 in the old Continental Globe livery. This aircraft is in from Kansas City, and will now be heading out to, let's go, Detroit. I believe I've used Detroit on the A320 a lot. Let's mix it up. We'll send this guy out to San Antonio. Next up here, we have the 737-900 in the Evo Blue livery. This aircraft is in from Boston, and it'll be headed out to Washington Dulles. Here we have the 737 MAX 8 in the SAF livery. This aircraft arrived in from Orlando, and it'll now be headed out to Houston. Here we have the United A319. This aircraft is in from Fargo and is now pushing back for the service out to, let's go Bangor, Maine. So we'll get two main destinations in here. Here we have the 737-800 in the Evo Blue livery. This aircraft is in from Omaha, and it'll now be headed out to Fort Myers. Here is the MAX 9 in the old Continental Globe livery. This one is in from Cancun, and it'll be headed out all the way out to Seattle. Here we have the 777-200 for United. This one is in from Amsterdam Schiphol. We'll be headed back out there. We have the 787-10 right here, and from Brussels is on the turn. Here's the 737-700 in the Evo Blue livery. This aircraft arrived in from St. Martin, and it'll now be heading on to, let's go, Grand Rapids, Michigan. And here's the 777-300ER Evo Blue in from Frankfurt, and also on the turn. A lot of turnarounds here for these internationals. We have the ITA A350 in the Born to be Sustainable livery. Lufthansa has a similar, just all blank sustainability livery, so owned by the same group. So I wonder if there was some influence there by the Lufthansa group to have somewhat matching liveries. But this one is in from Rome. We'll be heading back out there. And we have I'll move my arm so it's not blocking the light. We have the 787-8 Dreamliner here for United. This one's in from Paris. We'll be heading back out there. Paris. And here's the Swiss A330-300 in from Zurich, and is also on the turn. And for the first time in an airport update, here we have the new JetBlue A220. Love this livery so much. The purple goes so well with the blue. JetBlue did a phenomenal job on this one. This is the A220. It is in from Boston Logan, and it'll be headed back out there on the turn. Nice to get the tram in the shot as well. And now we'll move back here to the Gold Terminal, specifically the C concourse at the Gold Terminal. Beginning with this Frontier A321neo. This is the chopper, the Great White Shark livery. Yeah, Baja the Whale Shark, chopper, the Great White Shark. I always get those two mixed up, but anyways. This A321neo is in from Fort Lauderdale. We'll be heading out to Phoenix. Here's the Delta 717 taxiing in from Atlanta. Frontier A320neo Baja the Whale Shark. This aircraft is in from Dallas-Fort Worth. We'll be heading out to Houston. And here's Poppy the Prairie Dog on the A320neo in from Cleveland, and we'll now be heading out to Denver. I guess we'll go over to these guys. We're kind of bouncing. We're doing this in a different order than usual, so I'm not going exactly by terminal this time. But it's fine to mix it up a little bit. Here's the Allegiant A320 in the old livery. This aircraft is in from Phoenix Mesa, and it'll now be heading out to Cincinnati, Ohio. Here's the Denver Air Connection Dornier A328. I believe this one came in from Jackson, Tennessee. I believe is the route. You can double check. In 2 airport updates ago, I included this aircraft. I believe it's Jackson, Tennessee. We'll be heading back out there. It's our one route with Denver Air. And then here we have Porter on the E295. This one is in from Ottawa and is on the turn. Love that model. One of our 2 Porter routes. Absolutely gorgeous. While we're over here, we'll knock out this Aeromexico 737 MAX 8. This one is in from Mexico City. I'll be heading back out there. Now into our southwest gates, we have Triple Crown 1 right here. And this aircraft arrived in from Baltimore, and it'll now be heading down to Dallas Love Field. 737-700 right here in from Austin, Texas, and it's now going to be heading out to Tampa, Florida. All right, now we'll get these taxiing aircraft while we're over here, but we'll start with this Delta A320, which is in from Cincinnati and is heading back out there. Here is the Southwest 737 MAX 8, taxiing out for Kansas City. Delta A319. This one is in from Austin and will be heading out to Raleigh-Durham. And here's the Delta A321neo, which is in from LAX and will now be heading down to heading over to Seattle. Here is the SAS A321neo, taxiing out for out for Stockholm. Maybe this will one day become Oslo. I need to get another SAS aircraft. I believe the JC Wings A350 is now released. It was on pre-order for a while. I didn't order it, and hopefully it's still in stock, because it'll be nice to get an SAS A350 to add to the collection, so I'll have the 350 and the 330. But for now, this one is heading out to Stockholm. Here we have the Delta A330-300. This is the Paris service for Delta, in from Charles de Gaulle, and heading back out there. And here we have the E175 for Delta Connection. This one is taxiing out for, actually come a little bit closer. This guy's heading out to, let's see, what are some good, we'll say Jacksonville, Florida, and it arrived in from Mobile, Alabama. Here's the Aer Lingus A330-300 in from Dublin, and it's heading back out there, of course. And then here we have the Sunwing 737-800. This is operated by WestJet, as now all of Sunwing and Swoop aircraft are just WestJet, but with probably less comfortable seats. So this is a WestJet 737-800. This one is in from Edmonton, and it'll be heading back out there. We have Calgary service, Edmonton service, and Winnipeg service on WestJet. So that's the Edmonton flight, once daily. Calgary is twice daily. Here's the Delta Connection CRJ 900 and the Comair 30 years of flight livery. This is an oldie but a goodie. Love this aircraft. One of my rarest models. This aircraft is in from. I had some good ones for this one, and now I'm forgetting. It's Endeavor operated in from South Bend, Indiana, and it'll be heading out to. I already used a Little Rock for United. I want to mix it up. We'll say. I guess we'll say Bentonville, another Arkansas destination. Now on to American Eagle. We have how about Montgomery, Alabama? There is something new. Oh wait, no, Mobile is Gulf Shores, sorry. Anyways, the next aircraft here is the American Eagle E-170, operated by Envoy in the old livery. This is our Nashville shuttle service. Switched to the E-170 for today, usually on the E-175, but this is still an Envoy aircraft, and want to get the retro livery in here, so switched over to the E-170. Just an aircraft swap, and so nothing hurt there. I love the American Eagle retro livery. It's too bad that they don't have this livery anymore, because that was one of the arguably the best regional livery, just because it was so different from the mainline livery. Here we have the American A321 in the Piedmont Retro, taxiing in from Dallas-Fort Worth, and it'll be heading out to Phoenix later. Now here we have the American MAX 8, which is in from Phoenix, so we'll be heading out to Miami. And then here we have the Alaska E-175, and operated by Horizon in the Honoring Those Who Serve livery. This one arrived in from Portland and is on the turnaround. This is our Portland service for the winter season. It is on the E-175, but in the summer it'll be on the 737. But I want to get the E-175 in here. It's a long E-175 flight, but it'll do, I guess. So now we're all the way on the other side of the airport. We'll now start to work our way back, so we'll go to the internationals here. Want better lighting. Go to this side for the Iberia A330 and from Madrid, and we'll be heading back out there. Here's the Qantas 787-9 Dreamliner pushing back for the service out to Sydney. We have the KLM A330-200. This is the spring season aircraft swap. It's on the A330 in the spring. Summer it's the 777, and in the fall it's the 787. So it's the A330 right now. This one is in from Amsterdam. We'll be heading back out there, of course. And here is the British Airways. Getting the KLM's tail in the shot. British Airways 777-200 in from London Heathrow, and is heading back out there. This one just arrived in, taxiing in to the gate. This is the Lufthansa 747-400 in from Frankfurt. And this one will, of course, be on the turn today. This is in the old Expo 2000 Hanover livery, which obviously does not exist anymore because we're not in the year 2000. That was 26 years ago. But it's still a cool livery and a cool event and a cool aircraft. And it's still 747-400 season, not long before this gets upgraded to the 747-8 for the summer season. Here's the Qatar 777-300ER in from Doha. We'll be heading back out there. And finally, the Emirates 777-300 in the Expo 2020 livery. This is the sustainability Expo 2020 livery, the green one, whatever the actual title for this one was. Anyways, in from Dubai, and it'll be heading back out there. Here we have the Frontier A321 in the Cubby the Bear livery. This one is in from Cancun, currently taxiing in, and it'll be heading out to, let's see, this will head out to Houston, or I already said Houston, never mind. This will head out to Tampa later today. And here we have a Challenger 300. This one just arrived in, taxiing in to the FBO area. This one is in from Miami Opalaka, and we'll head out to Flying Cloud in Minnesota later. Taking off right here is the Cayman Airways 737 MAX 8. This one's heading out to Georgetown, Grand Cayman. We do have daily service on Cayman Airways, which is really cool to see. Love this aircraft. Yeah, it's currently taking off for Georgetown. Okay, so now we just have the cargo area, I guess, to wrap us up here. We'll begin with the charter terminal. We have the Eastern 767-300. This one is just sitting idle. Not much happening for this guy right now, so just waiting for his next assignment, just sitting here. And here we have the Honeywell 757-200, also just sitting here. Arrived in earlier today from Phoenix, and we'll see when this one heads back out to Phoenix, but currently just going to be sitting here at Zulu 103. Now the gates over here are in the 100s. The rest of them are, they don't go above, I think 20 is the highest we get, but these are 100s just because they're a different terminal. The airport really wanted to distinguish them from the main three terminals. Next up here we have the DHL 737-800, and from Charlotte, and from Cincinnati, we'll be heading back out there. And here is the Prime Air 737-800. This one is also in from Cincinnati. I almost said Charlotte again. I have Charlotte in my brain. I don't think any of these aircraft I can send out there, but maybe we should have gotten a Charlotte flight in here today. Anyways, Prime Air 737-800 in from Cincinnati. We'll be heading out to Lakeland, Florida. We have a United A321neo taxiing in right here. This one is in from Chicago O'Hare, and we'll be heading out to Las Vegas later. UPS MD-11 retired, still sitting here. I'll have to go back by MSP and check to see if that, if our UPS MD-11 is still sitting there or if that has moved now. But until I can get confirmation that that has moved, this will also still just be sitting here idle. So UPS MD-11 still sitting there waiting to see what happens after it's retired, I guess. Here's the 767-300 in from Chicago Rockford. We'll be heading back out there. 757-200 in from Louisville and is on the turn. And here's a United 767-300. This is our London flight. It arrived in from there earlier, and it's currently just chilling out here. It has to wait for the evening for its return service, so they needed to make space over at the B concourse in the blue terminal, so they towed it over here, and we'll just be sitting here before its return service back out to London later in the afternoon. Here's the Atlas Air 747-8. This one is in from Anchorage, and it'll now be making the service out to Seattle. Here we have a really cool flight. This is the World Atlantic. I'm going to go over to the other side to get better lighting. It's the issue when you only have one light. Well, technically there are three lights in here, but one good light. Here is the World Atlantic MD-83. I believe it's an MD-83, not MD-82. 90% sure. Taxiing out, this will be making the service out to Havana, Cuba. This is one of our, well, our only charter to Cuba. And it used to be 3 times weekly, and it's now dropped down to once weekly because of the fuel shortages and the logistical difficulties in getting to Cuba right now, unfortunately. This is a really good and quite a popular flight as well, so hopefully that can get figured out because this is a really cool flight. It's now just once weekly, but still glad to have it. What this aircraft does is it goes from Miami to Havana, and then it flies out here, picks up more passengers, goes back to Havana on a charter flight, and then back to Miami, which is where I believe World Atlantic is based. So yeah, pretty cool there. Love this aircraft. Good to still see some Mad Dogs flying in here, even though most of them are long gone. So yeah, heading out to Havana on a charter. Here's the FedEx Feeder ATR 42, which is in or 72 rather, not 42. This is the 72, in from Memphis. We'll be heading back out there. Finally is the FedEx 767-300, which is in from Oakland, and will now be heading down to Dallas. So yeah, that'll do it for the airport update here today. It's a little bit shorter, so hopefully that's good for you all. But still, quite a busy airport update. Got a lot of international flights in here, a lot of cool aircraft, so glad to do that as always. and thank you all for watching. So I'll see you in the next one. As always, kia ora, good night, and auf Wiedersehen.